Now using your Q-tip, come down here, use gentle circular motions, and scrub off that crusty crap from the CPU and GPU, alternating the Q-tips so you can get different sides of it. Flip it around, keep getting it. Wow, this is really caked down there. Alright, as long as a lot of it's gone, you're pretty much good to go. Alright, so that's good enough right there. Getting a second Q-tip, using the same technique, just gently scrub. Rub-a-dub scrub. Thanks for the grub, yay God. And then just come over here to this other one. Circular motions. By the way, if you got that reference, please leave it in the comments. Always makes me feel good. And there we go. So that's about good enough for both of them. Yeah, no, it is. If you can see your reflection in the little chips right here, you're good to go. So now moving over to the heat gun. This part's very important. If you screw this up, you might lose your Xbox. This thing gets to about 700 degrees. Don't put your hand under it. Don't point it at anybody. Just don't be stupid with it. And you're good to go. So, what you need to do? What you need to do is put it on your hand and wait for it to get warm. Once it really starts hurting your hand, then you come over to the Xbox. So, once you put it down, go in circular motion around the GPU, the CPU, the HANA chip, the RAM chip, this, whatever the hell this is, and the South Bridge. Then you want to put a good amount of time into each one. And remember to go in circular motions. Do not leave it on the specific chip or you will fry it. Remember, that's very important. Do not leave it on a chip. Go in circular motions around the chip, like you're massaging it or something. Get each chip good amount of time, and then you want to take your thumb and lift up on the board and get underneath the chip. That's very important. Don't forget this part. Do not leave it on the chip or you will fry your Xbox. I cannot stress that enough. If anything happens to it, it's not my fault because you did not listen to me. It's kind of hot, so if you want to wear a glove or something, you can. Alright. One more time up here. Alright. Then turn it off. Now, do not touch it for the next 15 to 20 minutes. Alright? Do not touch it. Do not get within 3 feet of it, or you will fuck it up. So, just don't get near it. Don't touch it, or else you will disrupt the solder, which is now settling. Okay, so, when you think it's done, put your hand over it. Do not touch it, but put your hand over it. If you don't feel any heat coming from it, it's okay to just sort of feel it a little bit. If it's not hot, or just a little bit hot, you're good to go. So, you're going to need some thermal paste. I just have my kind of generic, I don't even know what it is, Evercool. Anyways, just use some of this. So coming down to the chips, just put about a little bit bigger than a dime size, maybe about, a little bit less, a little bit less than a dime size. So about that big, just like a blob. And coming to this chip, put a good size blob. And then coming to this sensor chip, this one, be sure to put one on this one. Very important. Just a good sized blob again. And spread it around a little bit. If you had, like a plastic bag, put your finger in the plastic bag, just sort of spread it around a little bit. And this thing's out of juice, so might as well just spread it with the nozzle for this. But otherwise, I'd find a plastic bag or something to spread it around with. Oh, my ear just popped. Okay, so once you have it all spread around, you don't need this anymore, so I'll put that to the side. And now, you're going to take your, where did I put them? Oh, here we go. Your heat sink, blow off the dust, and take a flat object, a credit card or library card or something would work. I just have this piece of crap board I don't use. So just take it and scrape off the old thermal paste. Like so. Bam. And just get as much as you can off, so just keep scraping it until you get most of it off. And then do the same with your other. Just take it, whatever you have, credit card, library card, just a flat edge hard surface, and scrape it off. Like so. Alright. So, moving on. This is gross. Moving on. What you need to do, you take the GPU, you put it on top, into the holes, line them up, then you take your, it's okay to flip it upside down, the thermal paste will stay in place, see? Flip it upside down. This is my method of doing it. It usually works just by putting the X clamps back on. You don't really need to put on the you know new screws and all that. This works just as well and works just as long by just putting these back on. It's actually an effective system, this X clamp system, but Microsoft just didn't do a good job of implementing like it at all. Not enough thermal paste. That's basically their problem. Not a good connection from the heatsink to the CPU and GPU. That's why it overheats. So at this part, bring your thumb up and apply a good amount of pressure, and it'll snap back in. And doing the same thing with the other one. Apply a good amount of pressure, and it will just snap back in. Okay. Moving on to the next one. Do the exact same thing. You be sure at this one that this is placed, that this bar, if you have the older kind, is placed outwards, allowing for air to come in through here with these little slots. And then you take the X clamp, you put it back on, mon chéri. And then you do the exact same system. You slide up. This one's a little bit difficult. Okay, gonna come back to that one. If it doesn't work, just don't press too hard. Just try the other one, slide it around a little bit, and then come back to the other one, and it most likely will just pop on. Okay. So, at this point, if you just want to take your RF board, you can test it out. Just don't leave it on too long. So you just want to throw that in there. You want to put that in there. I usually just put this in my lap so I don't electrocute myself, but if you want to put this on a table, my workspace is just kind of messy. And you put this right here. Oh, that's why it didn't display. The message is, the HDTV thing was on. Okay, and then you come over to the front, and you turn it on. Voila! The Xbox works.
Da 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 da. From Zelda. Kidding.
Moving on. So once you be sure it turns on and everything, turn it off, unplug it, and there you have a fixed Xbox. I guess I can do a reassembly video, but it's basically just doing the steps back in reverse order. But so there's a few tricky things, so you might want to watch that. And subscribe and rate and comment. But
thumbs up, and you can't rate anymore.
Oh, that's so stupid. I like the rating system better.
You have to thumbs up.
I know. Well, thumbs up. Ugh. It's like fucking Facebook. Anyways. So if it does not work, either you didn't apply enough thermal paste. Okay, here's what you do in order. 1, take the fan, plug it in, and put it over these two, and let it just run for a little bit. Turn it back off, leave it for 20 minutes, turn it back on. It might work. Option 2, take it apart again, redo the heat gun trick, reapply that trick, and let it, and you may have disrupted it too early or something, just let it do it again, don't disrupt it. Third option, you might just be up shit creek. If that didn't work, it should just work after that point. But there you have a fixed Xbox 360. Oh, for sure.